Yeah, guys, we're going to play some more Burning Wheel tonight. To follow up on 2 weeks ago, we were playing the second scenario in the trilogy called Twilight in the Duchy of Verdorben. You can download that from the Burning Wheel store online. We're tonight playing the scenario called Dinner for One. This is a direct follow-up to Trouble in Hochin. And just to remind you of what happened in Trouble in Hochin, so the PCs, the player characters, were called to Hochin. They were sent there, in fact, by the Duke Verdorben because of rumors of a demon harassing the village and the villagers there. And so the PCs arrived to find that there was more going on in Hochin than they had even anticipated. They did find the demon and slayed it there in its cave, but they found that the villagers themselves had succumbed to heresy, worshipping the dark goddess Tavaret, attempting to summon her into the mortal realm. And they were able to defeat her, stop her from taking her form. And so to follow up on that a little bit, to fill in the in-between between that scenario and this scenario, the players tonight have chosen that the way they would have handled that scenario is that after defeating the goddess's avatar, they would have forgiven the villagers and granted them clemency, accepted their repentance, except for Vortak. He would have burned them alive. What can you do? Accepted their
not burn people alive.
And allowed them to keep their homes and their lives, and then traveled to the manor of the Lord Stravit, who is the Seigneur of Hochin. He's in charge of it. To report to him what has happened and to get his thoughts and perhaps his help on other issues. So tonight in Dinner for One, we will be joining Lord Stravit in his dining hall and exploring the mysteries of Stravit Manor.
The end.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Well done. Great story, everyone. Great story. So I think that, do you want to go ahead and start and have everyone introduce their characters and talk about who they are? Some of these names might look slightly familiar, but they'll definitely be played very differently than last time, that's for sure.
Yeah, for the most part, we're going to be using the same characters. Why don't we start with you, Max?
Yeah. So, okay. As you guys may know, Gunther Kizold, and this is going to be my take on Gunther, as it is a completely different story with no continuity whatsoever. So here are my beliefs as Gunther, and it will be as Gunther. So, the southern rot grows thick in my father's lungs, and only Lord Stravit has ever cured it. I will convince him to return to court to save my father. I have sworn to my duke, my Lord Verdorben, to serve him as a loyal and worthy vassal. I shall uphold his words and his law in this land, and I shall honor him with my bravery and my deeds.
Excellent. What do you got for us, Petra?
I don't know if I can follow that. There's no way I could do that.
Please lower the bar.
Yeah, please. All right, we're just gonna set the bar super low for you. So my character's name is Bryn. I am a wizard. For those of you who know me in my chat, my community for my D&D games, I never play a wizard, so this will be new because I can't hit anything. So my belief is my research in the Duke's library has revealed to me a secret. Lord Stravit is the keeper of the celestial mirror. One way or another, I will have it. And though the people of Verboten do not know it yet, I am a great hero of legend. Fame, power, wealth, and respect are my birthright. But nobody knows, so I have to tell them. See?
Jess.
Lower the bar enough?
I don't know if I can follow that.
We can go lower, people.
I am Thea, a recently graduated priest-like person, and I heard of rumors that Lady Stravit is close to her deathbed, and I want to provide her the rights of Tudum because it can save any soul, and I think all souls deserve to be saved no matter how lost.
Sure about that?
Beautiful. Thank you. Vortak, tell us what the elf is all about.
My name is Sarabin the Adventurous Elf. I'm 136 years old. And I believe, without even meeting him, that Lord Stravit is a necromancer. And my goal this evening is to prove that to everybody, that is player knowledge and not character knowledge. And also, my companions are like children to me, and they will come to no harm. I will see to it. The end.
Bravo.
Well done.
All right, Max, what do you think? Anything else before we get going?
No, other than that, sit back and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the funny voices, especially from me, because you guys know that is what I like to do. And I'm good to go if everyone else is.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Excited.
All right, guys. So, after traveling across the snowy fields and forests outside of Hochin, you arrive at Stravit's Manor. And as you walk up the long road that leads to the manor itself, you see that the grounds are decrepit, uncared for, buried under the snow, but falling apart. And you walk up now to the large double doors, wooden, tall, heavy, that guard the front of Stravit Manor. Then you knock. Which of you knocks?
Well, I guess that I'm just used to hospitality, so I'll just knock on the door and politely wait for someone to answer.
Wonderful.
And I'm gonna make a
So-
reach for it, and then be like,
This place kind of looks like a graveyard, which is interesting.
Yeah, there are definitely statues and other stoneworks that have fallen into disrepair around the grounds. Somewhat ominous.
Yeah. Like, own personal graveyard. Kind of weird. Not gonna lie.
And so,
Maybe he
Going on
just
hard
really
times.
believes that people who don't have the ability to pay for their own plots, he puts it on his grounds because he's a very hospital senor.
he is just
Benefit of the doubt. I like it.
a nice guy. Let's get that out ahead of time. Lord Stravit is the best person. So after a few minutes, the door creaks open, and through the slight crack, you see a face. The face of a middle-aged man, clearly a peasant. It is worn from the sun and from time. And he says to you, may I help you?
Well, hello, my name is Sir Gunther of Kizold, and we are here to see your lord. I have an appointment.
I'm looking at him just like backwards
The door
hillbilly.
opens wider, and you see the man now, short but stocky, with a small beard. And he looks at you confused, and he says, from whence do you come? The Lord is not expecting visitors.
I look over to Bryn on this one.
We were sent by the Duke to investigate, weren't we? Guys, I'm whispering to my people, not to him.
Wait,
no,
why are we
"Do you have
here?
an appointment?
Yeah, time out. So,
Whose house is this?
Wait, hold on.
Hold
Were
on,
we
let's
staying
see.
you just said
Where are the numbers on this damn thing? They like to hide them. I don't see. Lord
You want the
Stravit,
other.
right?
On the hill.
so I look over, so like, let me, out of character council. So we collectively decided we were going to go and visit him because we heard he had great hospitality, right? But we didn't actually make an appointment, unlike what Maximus has just said. And
We didn't.
implied.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
important to you
So,
to
all right.
let
So,
the Lord know what has happened in his village.
okay. So I'm going to like, kind of like flip my hair. I have no idea, but I'm pretending that my hair is long. And,
Yes.
we're going to like, I'm just going to step forward and be like, good sir, we come with very important news as to recent events in Lord Stravit's lands. We graciously ask that we may have a visit with him. And would you excuse my companion? Obviously, there are leaders differently among us.
Yep, you're right. We got that dear demon good, didn't we?
And his eyebrows furrow at the word demon, and he says, do you come from Hochin?
That'd be the place, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar, vaguely.
He looks very concerned.
We
at
left
this
them
point.
alive. I would like to be clear. The village
Well,
is alive.
they did.
Waves you into the foyer. Urges you to cross the threshold. Please
And I'm
come
gonna,
in
like-
quickly.
Sorry. One more time.
As soon as he opens the door and he says, "Come in," and I just waltz in there.
And I'm like, so now, like, Hillbilly Dude and I, that's his character, and I are just like, I'm like very much trying to take over and like not. And so I like switch my robes and walk in.
Excellent.
I'm not wiping my feet or taking off my shoes.
Are you wearing shoes?
I believe I'm wearing shoes.
Okay, I'm fine with you wearing shoes.
Thanks.
So does everyone follow the servant into the foyer?
Indeed.
Excellent. So as you step into the manor, the first thing you notice is the smell. It smells of stale air, dust. It smells as if no one lives here anymore. You don't hear any other servants. You don't see any other servants. Lord Stravitt himself is absent. You simply see dust motes floating through the evening light. In the large hall before you with a grand staircase and doors leading off to various rooms to your left and to your right. So when the servant sees that you've all made it in, he closes the door and shuts out the cold of the winter behind you. And he says, "Please, wait for me here. I must go speak with Lord Stravitt. I will return." And he makes his way up the grand staircase, and you see him disappear down the dark hallways above you, leaving you alone.
Dude, it reeks in here.
I guess he doesn't entertain much.
I don't think he's lived here in years.
You know,
Are
He
we
has a
sure we have the right
vacation-
place?
He has a vacation graveyard manor. Is that what you're suggesting?
That's kind of what it looks like.
That's a vacation to
Well,
him. A graveyard manor.
So what all of you know
Servant-
about...
Kind of suspicious.
I didn't believe you when you were going off while we were coming here, but this does look suspicious. You're right.
What all of you
I have a
know
question.
about Lord Stravitt is that he left the court some time ago, about a little over a year ago. Previously, he was the court physician, the personal physician to the Duchess, but he was forced to leave the court because his wife fell ill, and so he returned home to care for her. Has not been heard from since.
I've heard a lot of rumors in different inns that her health is taking a turn for the worse every week that goes by, and I'm pretty sure that she's not going to make it past winter. And I think it would be fantastic if we can give her her rights from Tudum. Obviously.
It's rather hasty to presume that she's dying.
What
Well,
if she's
I
already
mean-
dead?
Oh my God, no!
you know, I that would have been some pertinent there information before we decided to trek all the way up here in this guy's house, and before we found out his wife is dying. I don't want to be here.
Obviously, we can try and save her. Clearly.
Unless she's already dead.
CouncilCaller, I have a question. Technical question. Plus, is everything we say in character? It's like,
It
I
is
need
for
to
me.
clear that right now, that if all the shit that we're saying is in character, I have to play differently.
You tell me. We are collaboratively creating this story.
All right. I would say I'm used to being able to have a little bit of conversation with my party members, but if y'all are going to just say whatever comes to your mind and that's it, we're good. All right, we'll roll that way.
Just
That
say,
makes me sound like a Southern.
just
I think
stop
we're all
everyone
gonna
real
just
quick.
start sounding like Southerners at the end of this.
The way that the good Lord intended it.
I would just stop everyone real quick. Say, real quick, player knowledge or whatever, just so we know you're talking out of character.
So
Okay,
does anyone have
agreed.
an intent currently? Do you want to try and discern something with your perception about the house, or anything you like to try and recall that your character already knows?
You gave me elven shoes in my character sheet.
Yes.
You forgot I had shoes, though. You wrote the character sheet.
I was giving you the option to go barefoot if you'd like to.
Well, clearly you didn't give me that option when you wrote.
Doesn't mean you're wearing the shoes, it just means you have them.
It's just in my bag,
Yeah.
Just like over your shoulder.
trekking through the snow.
What color are your elven shoes?
They're probably brown because of all the dog shit he has in his front yard.
I thought he had graveyards. He has dogs now too.
He has
But
to guard
nothing
the
lives.
bodies.
Nothing looks like it lives here.
We should lower our voices because he might hear us. You guys are insulting our guests.
I know we're echoing a lot.
For once, she's right. I believe in this situation because hospitality is something that is very important to the Lord, and I don't think that. And when I say Lord, I don't mean Lord of I don't mean Lord. I mean Lord.
You could mean both.
Yeah,
Both
did
have
straight
capitals,
up
or did you
and
miss
down.
grammar class?
So yeah, I think you're right.
I would like to look around
Sure.
at this is
Looking for
out of
anything
character
different?
out of character knowledge.
Mhm.
I would like to look around and see if there's like any paintings or I'm sorry, this is my 5th ed coming out. Can I roll perception, or do I just say I intend to look around to discern what this man looks like?
Yeah, that's fine. You can tell me what
Okay.
outcome you were wishing to occur.
I'm looking to find out if there is a door, like what doors are off and where do they go, and yeah.
Excellent. Okay,
But under the guise that I'm looking at the fine art that's dusty on the walls.
I gotcha. So go ahead and test your perception for me. We're gonna make this graduated just to see.
While she's doing that, can you tell me how I find my perception levels and all that? Because I thought I had that and I don't.
Yeah, no problem. So if
I'd like to say, for chat's sake, this is the first roll of the day, which I.
Thank you.
yes,
I don't know how you did that, but
usually-
I'll just be careful not to mess it.
Okay, I'm trying to hit the dice and it's not working. Aha! All right, what are my modifiers?
I'm going to give you a 1 modifier simply because there's nothing stopping you from looking around.
Okay, and my Artha.
0. We'll come back to Arta later on.
Arta. Okay, base
Arta.
obstacle.
We're going to call it 0. This is a graduated test, so the degree of your success will determine the degree of what you perceive.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, so you take a look around, Bryn, and what you find is that there are paintings of a man whom you assume to be Lord Stravit hanging around the foyer. He seems to be a tall, dark-haired man with thin facial hair and a stern look. What you notice in particular is that all depictions of him, even those with his wife, do not depict any children, so he appears to be barren. And what you notice about the doors and the areas around the foyer is that they are themselves covered in dust. It seems as if most of this house is unused and has been for some time.
Damn,
Yeah.
Sherlock.
Okay.
Is there anything else anyone wants to know at the moment?
So I'm gonna share with my party members. Jess, what's your name again?
Thea?
If Thea is correct, it seems that this house isn't entertained in ages. Perhaps she is gravely ill.
Or dead.
And let's
You
err on
really
the
look
side
at
of
like to look
light.
the bright side of things, don't you? There, Sarah Byrne. Is that an Elvish thing or is that just a you thing?
It is not an Elvis thing. Just a trait that I have. Suspicion, if you will.
Fair enough.
I would like to know if he has any pets.
Any pets? He does not have any pets. I'll give that one to you. It's pretty clear. You don't see any dog bowls around. You don't like feel any cat hair irritating your allergies.
So what did I step in?
You don't want to know. I'm just do not roll perception.
That's okay. All right, I'll take that.
So as all of
I'm
you
just gonna like shuffle away from you from the
banter.
smell.
Sarah Byrne, I have a dog with me, as you may know.
That is true.
A clue.
Is your dog still named Tankster, or are we gonna change
It's Cletus.
Cletus. Cletus the pup. Like that. All right. So as you banter, Tomas returns from the upstairs hall and descends the grand staircase. And he approaches you now and he says, "The Lord has instructed me to welcome you and lead you to the dining hall so that he might join you for dinner sometime.
It's very gracious. Thank you very much.
Please follow me." And he leads you off into one of the side doors. So he doesn't take you into the dining hall at first. He takes you into the kitchen, where you see a young boy, perhaps 11 or 12, who looks a lot like Tomas, cutting vegetables and preparing venison. It's clear that he is doing the prep for dinner. And Tomas leans down and instructs him, whispers to him, that there will be guests joining us tonight, and that he will need to prepare more than the usual for Lord Straven. And so as he whispers this, yes, ma'am, you had a question?
I'm gonna, so if I notice this, I want to get into Thomas's good graces, so he'll let me sneak around the house later. So I'm going to say, because I don't know if we do or not, we don't mean to be a burden. Is there anything we might fetch or help prepare?
Excellent. Interesting. So is your intention here to actually help them prepare the food?
Well, maybe some of us could stay and others can fetch.
My intention is to just make them like me. I don't actually.
I want to be a gourmet chef.
Okay, all right.
My true belief if it's real. No,
I
like
can roll
I
that.
mainly just want to ingratiate myself. But if anything came back to me, I'd be like, well.
So what your intention here is to ingratiate yourself by offering and having him politely decline your offer.
Well, if we have supplies, I just don't know what everybody has on them because I didn't bother looking at everybody else's character sheet. But like, if we have supplies, I would add them to the plate because I know that we're a burden to the house, and I want Lord Stravitt to not like we have surprised him, but I wouldn't actually want to peel vegetables.
Yeah,
I can give you my shoes and add those.
delicious elven shoes, the staple of any good diet. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is test your perception for me. I don't believe that Bryn has perception, so what I'm going to do is add that to your character sheet. And Burning Wheel, you can roll pretty much any skill
do have
at the
perception.
time. But if you don't actually have it, then you are testing with your stat. Persuasion is will-based. You should see it on your sheet now, Bryn. You see it there? That's
Yeah,
in
it's the second one down from Will.
Yeah, sweet.
What's my mod?
So for your mod, can you think of anything here that would give you an advantage that would help you in this social situation?
Didn't I grow up in court?
You did.
So I know the life, like I probably grew up around servants and the burdens of households like this for providing this much money to that were guests or costly things. So I probably would have knowledge of like the burden that I'm putting on Lord Stravitt's steward. Is that probably it?
He certainly seems to be the steward.
Yeah. If you're asking me what other ability I have that would go with it, just good natured awareness of like people beneath me.
Yes.
Gunther would like to help her.
Good leader, I should always know how like others feel.
And Gunther hears what she says, and in order to help her, he kind of clasps the boy's shoulder. He's like, you know what, she's right. You know, just because we're nobility does not mean that I forgot where I came from. I had to peel my own potatoes when I was a kid, so I'm more than willing to help you out there.
Sweet. So you're rolling this being learned, as it's called, untrained with beginner's luck. So what that means is that you can't fork in any other skills. If you're rolling a skill, you can use other skills to help you to add modifiers. But if another character, such as Gunther, wants to help you, he definitely can. So let's add 2 here. I agree that you probably know how to speak to servants in this situation because you're so humble, always willing to help. And Gunther is there to help you out as well. So add 2 for your modifiers.
Okay.
0 for your Arta.
Okay.
And then your obstacle is going to be 3.
No. All right.
Boo.
Well, actually, no, because fail forward, right? CouncilCaller.
So you rolled your perception there. That's okay.
What were we supposed to roll? Charisma?
Do you see the word persuasion there under the being learned column? It's to the right of the word skills on your sheet.
to the being learned. Yes.
Mhm.
Wrong.
Roll that one
die.
instead.
Oh, because I rolled perception.
You did.
Great. Sorry. 2 and 0.
But you did perceive that he needs some help.
Arr.
That's okay. All right. So the two of you, you do offer to the parent steward to help with preparing the meal. And though he politely responds and declines to this, it's clear that he is insulted by your offer. He seems, in fact, quite offended. All of you can see it on his face. Even his son looks up at you with his eyebrow raised, as if you have committed the greatest faux pas he has ever experienced.
Probably.
I'm so
Well, I guess we'll just go sit down. Have a good night. We'll see you in a little bit. And I walk out.
Just kidding.
Hashtag awkward.
And so as the steward leads the four of you out of the kitchen and into the dining room, you see his son go to the back of the kitchen and struggle to lift a solid wooden bar from a door that apparently leads down into the cellar. And so this is the last thing you see as you enter the dining room. You see the young boy descending downward to the ground underneath the manor.
Out of character, Vortex. They're eating people.
What?
Don't have the meat.
Won't eat me. Yeah. So, well, great. So I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
Things are getting more suspicious around
You
here.
can't. You can pretend, but we all know what just happened. You came in
No, but
like a court person and be like, I know you can't do your job because you are a simple folk. And let me do it for you. It's basically what happened there.
It's not
so
condescending.
I'm just gonna like
There's a difference.
shuffle and like pretend it didn't happen, even though the rest of the party knows.
So mechanically, what's interesting here is that Gunther, because you helped Bryn, you are bound up in her failure. Whereas Thea and Cereburn, because you were not involved in that, are not. So he doesn't think you're stuck up at all yet. We'll get there. So when you enter the dining hall, what you see is this hall is tall, very tall. The ceiling is very high, and it seems to extend upwards to the roof beyond the second floor. And it is long, rectangular. There's an enormous dining table in the middle. It seems to be fully set. Candlelight lights the room with candelabras on the table and sconces on the wall. And on the walls in particular, what you notice is that they are covered in portraits. Portraits of previous Lord Stravitz and Lady Stravitz, portraits of their children. This seems to be the place where most of the art that records the history of the Stravitz family is held.
So,
And so the steward, who now introduces himself as Tomas, specifically he says that he is Tomas the Forester, with a slight bow, instructs you to please wait here. He says that he will bring you wine shortly and that the Lord Stravitz will be down before too long. And then he exits the room back into the kitchen.
Is this super dusty in here? You said no. It's like really nice.
This room seems slightly less dusty. It seems as if the dining hall is used on, perhaps on a daily basis, but more regularly than even the foyer.
I'll just sit down then.
Yeah, absolutely. Does everyone take a seat?
sure, yeah.
I'm going to wait. Like,
Where do you sit?
So is there, so it's a long table, yeah?
Yes.
And obviously there's two ends. I'm sure one end looks a little bit more used or less dusty than the other, which is probably where the Lord is going to sit. So we should probably sit over on that area instead of like all the way on the other side.
Yeah, it is fairly obvious which end that Lord Stravitz will sit at. His chair is high-backed and ornate compared to this chair on the opposite side of the table.
I would like to sit at the opposite head of the table.
How many chairs are on this.
How many
Completely.
chairs are between us? Because if it's like 20.
It's like 20. I mean, it is clear that he has a table sufficient
Other side of the
to
room.
most of the court.
So I'm gonna look at the rest of my party and kind of be like, shouldn't we wait for our host to arrive?
That's a brilliant idea, and I will.
I like that idea. All right. Usually when
kind of tired, but that's fine. None of y'all got to wear heavy armor all day. That's fine. I'll protect you. I'll just
You
get a
wearing
load off my feet here in a little bit.
you could take off your shoes. I mean,
I like wave my wizarding fingers at you. And, come at it.
Okay. So all of you are going to stand and wait for Lord Strava to arrive.
Is there a fire going or anything?
Yeah, in fact, there is. There is
I can start one.
fireplace, a hearth at the end of the hall,
All of chat did it with me.
burning bright and warm. And it's nice, actually, to be in here after walking through the snow and the ice for almost 2 days. You arrive at Lord Strava's manor. You can warm yourselves by it if you'd like.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go do and like scope out the room.
Boom. So Tomas brings you wine, shortly serves all of you, and then again excuses himself to help his son prepare dinner.
I don't drink.
I'll
okay.
take yours. Don't
Well,
worry about it.
I double fist.
Beat me
Like,
to
no
it.
problem.
You deserve it, Thay. You know what? The early bird gets the worm, all that thing. You have all that wine.
I don't know. Everything just feels a little odd. Like, I know that we came in here uninvited, but it seems kind of decrepit. And I understand, like, I'm whispering to you guys. I understand that his wife has been gravely ill from all these rumors and everything. But I just have this weird vibe in the air. Does anyone else feel that way?
I feel like they were expecting us
Really?
because they're already back there cooking.
Well, it's like,
I mean,
It's
man's
like-
got to eat.
yeah, people have to eat.
But no, like, they're just going to have more food for random strangers.
Yeah, it's a lord. They have a bunch.
So they make a feast every night, and 2 or 3 people eat it.
Well, they're just gonna cut more carrots than usual, and they're gonna get some more meat from downstairs than usual. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, you just cut more carrots. There's plenty of carrots, probably.
Have you been down there? Did you see what they got going on?
Listen, I've seen a lot of carrots, okay, and I've seen a lot of dinners. And if you're in a court with a lord, there's lots of carrots, lots of potatoes, things like that.
Do you frequently see carrots in the evening? Sorry, dirty joke for the rest of the stream.
Well, I would like to keep my private life private there, Bryn.
Can we
Yeah. I
so
would agree.
other than the door, we came in through the kitchen door. So I'm going to guess that either there's another archway or other doors into the dining room area.
Yes, there are large formal doors at the end of the hall.
Okay.
And it seems like you should have come through.
Right.
In fact, it seems like the gentleman, Tomas, who brought you here simply isn't aware of the correct procedure.
Especially since he called himself the Forester.
He did. He called himself the Forester.
Okay.
Maybe they're just new.
Maybe.
I do think Thay is right. I mean, it's probably a good idea. We'll just sit here. We'll wait. We'll enjoy the wine. We'll sit by the fire. We'll talk. We'll have fun. It'll be great. We'll just wait for the Lord to come on down, and then we'll greet him appropriately. And then,
Well, what about the washrooms? I mean, we just came in from trekking. We should probably wash our hands before we are in the presence of a lord.
They have no germ theory at this time.
Well, I obviously have a lot of dirt, and I don't want to have dirt on my hands while I eat. Okay.
Obviously, it's new staff. I mean,
Okay. All right.
so the real problem though is how are we going to inform? Like, who is going to tell Lord Straps? Obviously, I'm most qualified to tell him what goes on, but we should establish who should fill in the necessary details as we go.
Clearly you.
I don't know, Bryn. How many demons did you slay?
Well, obviously, my natural leadership qualities. Anyway, the point being is that we should establish our story now before the Lord arrives,
Okay.
and probably find a place to wash our hands.
What are you going to tell him?
Well, obviously, we were sent by the Duke to investigate rumors of a demon in a small village of Hochin, and we found that it was true. And
And there was a cult,
there was a cult,
and we let
there's
them live.
this necromantic oil that we think is a big part of all of this.
They're still out there.
Yes, indeed.
Do we think though we should be and I'm lowering my voice. Do we think though he knows about the cult, and should we be prepared for him to be upset that we killed his patron goddess? Just putting that out there.
He can just bring her back.
Maybe.
Fair point.
Okay.
We're about to dine in this man's house. We might have killed his patron goddess.
Okay.
But
Let's just leave that out there.
live
Could
because they're
I-
obviously part of his livelihood, so he should be happy with that at least.
CC, I would like to call on my ancient history knowledge to see if anyone actually knew of this, lord that we toppled its
Oh.
statue and destroyed it, and to see that if there's anyone actually who would worship such a thing, especially in this area.
Okay.
The
You
goddess
want to
Harawet?
see if Gunther is aware of the history of the goddess you encountered in Hochin.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it. Ancient history seems appropriate to me.
Modifiers?
I can't think of any. Anything come to your mind? Any
No.
forks seem appropriate?
No, not particularly,
Okay.
honestly.
So 0 for that. I'd suggest 0 for your Arta.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to call the Ob here 3. I think this is detailed knowledge.
Nope, can't think of anything.
Damn.
So as you are discussing, as you are considering what happened in the village, all of you, you in particular, Gunther, bring up the name Taweret, which you believe to be the name of the goddess whom you encountered there. And as you say this name, the doors of the dining hall swing open, both of them, with a loud crash. And in marches a man, tall, dark-haired, long-faced, flowing mustache and goatee, cape swirling behind him. The Lord Stravit.
Player knowledge question. Is he as dusty as everything in the house?
He is not dusty, no.
Doesn't look like he woke up like out of a casket that day or anything.
I'll let you decide if he seems like a vampire or not.
Does he look pissed?
He looks like he owns this place. That's what he looks like.
Confident.
Straight up pimping. All right, cool.
Confident. He looks like he has walked in on children doing something they're not supposed to be doing.
So we all obviously straighten up and we do a little curtsy, a bow, and give him apt attention as he deserves.
He marches around the table towards the hearth where all 4 of you are standing. And he stops about 5 to 10 feet away and gives a slight bow, very slight. And he says, "Greetings. I welcome you to my home."
Thank you for having us without any notice whatsoever, Lord.
Tomas has informed me of the circumstances, and I forgive your indiscretion. It is of no concern.
It's very humble of you.
I am happy to have you here.
Great.
It's a trap.
Did you actually say
Please, let us sit. Dinner will be served shortly, I am sure.
Thank you so much, sir.
He does not wait for you to sit. He flutters his cape behind him, pulls the chair, and takes a seat at the head of the table.
Again, I'm going to go to the opposite end of the table just to set that in stone.
Okay. So as you are walking towards the other end of the table, he says, "Master Elf, It is custom to sit near the lord of the house, and he is
Uh-huh.
attempting to persuade you, to intimidate you into taking your seat closer to him.
I'm gonna help on that one and give Cereborn this nod of like,
It's like, God damn, down server. God shit.
Yeah, can we all roll against?
God, but come on.
You can all
was
have
like-
that.
We all give him a glare and a knowing nod.
you bumbling elf.
I thought elves were supposed to be a bit more sophisticated.
So sorry, my lord.
Who is helping Straven here to intimidate Cereburn into sitting closer?
Me. Yeah.
I think everyone would be.
Yeah, okay.
Straight up
Cereburn,
happening.
You got a long hill to climb here.
No, it's fine. Clearly, there's some cultural differences, but also over
Although I
here,
don't think it's gonna happen for him.
that's cool. Whatever. But I'm pissed. Let it be known.
He did well, but not well enough. Cereburn, you are not intimidated by him enough to stop. In fact,
Really?
you carry on towards the end of the table and take your
sir.
seat
At-
opposite.
I was just going to assume with all those people rolling against me, I lost.
After I pick up my jaw up off of the floor, I'd like to turn to Lord and say, "My Lord, I'm gracious that you led us here. I do apologize about my friend Cereburn. You know, he is an elf and he's just not aware of the customs of our, of this area. So I'd like to formally apologize and I would like to thank you for welcoming us into your home."
He listens to you stoically, and when you finish speaking, he turns to Bryn and says, "Tell me, my lady, what news is there from Hojin?"
So I'm gonna take the chair. Let's see here. He's here. That's to his left, which or right, which, if I remember my table manners, is like his wife's chair. I think, right?
I think so.
In this world, it can be whatever you'd like it to be.
I'm gonna make it so. Whatever table setting Nazis out there want to do that. So I'm gonna sit down and like graciously and like fluff my slightly dusty robes, and like say, "My lord, we have grave news, and we would very much like to inform you to the happenings of your land, so that you may make the best decisions. We came upon your village, and the villagers had seemingly found they needed assistance spiritually, and
At this point, Tomas bursts through the doors and hustles over to Lord Stravit, whispers in his ear, serves him wine, and then exits once more.
Can we not do like a listen on that whisper?
It is very quiet.
Okay.
is
Can we like perceive his face like
yeah.
during that? Like
No,
what?
no need to
No
test
need?
there.
Okay.
Tomas looks beyond stressed.
They
Looks
don't
very-
have enough meat.
Because they didn't kill anybody lately. No, that's not in character. All right. No, I was more concerned about Stratit's face than Tomas.
Stravit's, yes, Stravit's face has not changed since he walked into the room.
Okay. I'm going to incline and say, "Shall I continue, my lord?"
Of course, my lady.
So we came across, and after I would say a great dashing of wait, out of character. We agreed not to tell him about the killing demon thing, right?
I don't
Or
know
was
if we
that
agreed on
interrupted, and I don't know where the conversation ended, so I'm just going to make my decision as a player.
Yeah, I think we kind of got interrupted while we were discussing. So you can go ahead and
Okay, so my character was like, maybe we shouldn't tell him that because I really want to get into his library, which is not a euphemism, chat. So, but like that was the whole. Sorry, I'm gonna have to talk this through. Okay, but, like that was the whole point of us going there was to stop these cultists from doing what they're doing and kill that goddess. And Amarat was the goddess's name, right?
So the task
goddess.
the Duke sent you to Hojin with was to investigate the rumors of the demon and to stop the demon should you find that there was one there. The whole
Okay.
cultist thing was sort of like the dark cherry on top of a terrible pie that you never
Okay.
wanted.
So would it be presumed okay, maybe I need to make a roll. I want to know how much he would probably know to not be redundant to this man and insult his intelligence, because he's the Duke's, like, Duchess's physician. He probably still maintains like ravens or doves or some messaging system. So can I,
Even though he left the court?
He did.
Yeah. Yeah, because I would think like he was like intimately involved with the family and the Duchess, like he would probably keep up with the Duke's business and and it's involving his lands, right?
Sure.
So can I roll? You can tell me if I have to roll. This is not D&D. Can I like know anything if he would know this kind of stuff and like not bore him with the details?
Perhaps etiquette would be appropriate here.
Yeah,
Perhaps it's
okay.
more about the presentation than the content.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I think you have etiquette.
Yes.
Excellent.
What?
So, knowing how to speak to Lord Stravit correctly, that will be an etiquette test. Can you think of any modifiers? Are there any skills you see in your list that you think would help you with this task? Speaking to him correctly.
Well, persuasion.
You guys mind if I real quick listen to his voicemail, because it might be important? I'm sorry. It's weird. I shouldn't be getting a voicemail from this person, so
Okay.
I need to check it. All right. Sorry about that.
Rhetoric and persuasion, which I'm learning, and then probably what is forte?
So fort is a stat. It's like a mix of constitution and
Okay.
endurance.
Okay, so that won't help me. So yeah, I'm gonna land with like rhetoric and persuasion.
Okay, cool. So what are you trying to persuade him to do in addition to simply relaying to him in appropriate terms the events of what happened in Hojin?
I am trying to persuade him that I am the leader of the group, as he has obviously selected me already by addressing me.
Okay.
And persuade him that I know what I'm doing and that I'm a worthy person.
And our group is trustworthy.
That too.
Are you
I don't
embellishing
really
the
care about
details
that,
at
though.
all? to
I'm
make it seem
trustworthy.
Like you were the linchpin here, like the key
Yes.
to saving Hochin.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, we want to be hired again.
Okay, I'll let you have both of those, rhetoric and persuasion.
Sorry about that, by the way.
modifiers.
You good?
Yep. Everything's good. Everything's fine. False alarm.
0 Arta. I would suggest saving your Arta for now.
How many sorry, what was the modifier?
2 Dose.
Okay. Arta 0. Base obstacle.
Your obstacle is going to be 5.
Oh, he really doesn't. Okay.
Willful sort of guy.
Fudge muffins.
Excellent. Perfect.
So he sees right through you.
So as you are relaying this story, Lord Stravit puts his hand up. He raises his hand, and he says to you, my lady, let me ask Sir Gunther if he has anything to add before you continue. And he completely cuts you off. Turns completely away from you towards Gunther and says, my good night, Sir Gunther. I understand that the Duke sent you to Hochin to solve some sort of problem with a demon. Can you inform me of what events occurred there?
You know, Lord, that is correct. You know, my Duke, Verdorben, took us down to Hochin, or told us to go down there about the demon, you know. And one thing that I found very strange is, you know, when we got there, we were met by the mayor, you know, I believe it's the Watt down in that area. Martin, I know him, we just call him Martin. And Martin, I think was, you know, there's some strange stuff going on, Lord. I'm trying to collect my thoughts here, but here's the thing, is that we found a bear. Now, can you believe this? A bear in a cave. There was a bear, and it was a scary looking bear. I mean, it's a big old grizzly looking bear, and we did defeat it, under any circumstances, we had to defend ourselves, right? But the thing is, it wasn't a normal bear. It was mean like a normal bear, but when you stabbed it, and I don't want to get to the gruesome details, Lord, I know we're about to eat, but, there was something wrong. It had some kind of black gooey substance, not normal to bear that I've ever seen. And I'm sorry, Lord, I'm sorry, I apologize. I missed that.
Continue. This is most troubling to me.
Yes, believe me, I had never seen a bear like that in my life, man. And I'd like to say that it was strange. So we took care of that bear, which I think had something to do with some demon down there. And it attacked us. We ended up, taking care of it. And I think that was pretty much, the end of the demon there. And I think that we accomplished our task as far as I'm concerned in that general area. So demon destroyed.
I see. And upon the defeat of this demon bear, you decided to come to my manor. Is that correct?
Yes, we heard about your hospitality, and I think that it was a good idea, to come somewhere that would be hospitable to us to kind of get us off the road. But more than that is we wanted to make sure that you knew what was going on in your village. I wasn't for sure. I didn't want to, just go ahead and think that you knew these things. You probably do. You're a very astute lord, but I just want to make sure that you knew what transpired in your lands, and I thought that you might think this would be important to hear.
And Thea, do you add anything about the heretics that you found and pardoned?
Absolutely, my lord. I always have believed that every soul can be spared and saved. And after many hours of interrogation of group and singular, way into the morning hours, obviously very humane and nothing torturous, we have found that these villagers simply have lost their path, and they have decided to renew their faith in your ability as a lord to take care of them. And so that is why we have come here, to let you know that they lost their way, but it seems that they are coming back to it with the proper guidance.
Straven seems, for once his face does change, he seems deeply disturbed relative to his stasis, emotional stasis. He seems to frown somewhat as you bring up the fact that his villagers were worshipping the god who is not Tudum.
I was very upset that they were not worshipping the god Tudum, because the god Tudum has always given me a righteous path and a glorious path. And thankfully, after telling them about the righteous passages, they seem to be a bit more strengthened in their resolve to follow Tudum. But I think they may continue to need a little bit more guidance, and maybe have somewhat of a center to be able to continue to go to prayer multiple times a day to strengthen their resolve in their religion.
Excellent. So I'd like everyone at the end of the table where things are happening to roll their perception. That's your perception.
Okay.
Be an ob2.
Did you say everyone, CC?
Everyone.
Except me, who's not near the
Antisocial elf who doesn't want to engage.
I do not have perception. Yes, I do. Never mind.
Everyone's got perception.
Okay. Any modifiers, or are we just rolling?
No modifiers. Just roll your perception.
What's
ob2.
going on up there?
Topical one.
Up to, right?
Excellent. Yep, ob2. Oh, well, that's fine. It's still, you got 2 successes, so we're good.
I'm looking at Thea's thing and I can't find it.
Sure. So I'm going to flip over to your stats and skills. You should now
Oh,
see
there you go,
perception in the
thanks.
top left.
Yeah. And then modifier 2?
Modifier 0.
0. Oh,
0 Arta. Obstacle 2.
oh okay. Okay.
Great. I love it. So, Bryn, you are the only one to notice that as Thea is speaking, relaying that she has brought his villagers of Hochin back to Tudum. That Lord Stravitz subtly makes the sign to avert evil every time the word Tudum is mentioned.
Aren't you like a cleric of Tudum?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He hates me.
Wait,
Okay.
I'm sorry. What does he do?
He makes the sign
like-
to avert evil.
He doesn't like the goddess that she's sworn to.
He like
Okay.
crosses
Try
himself.
and save his wife with this. Okay, this is gonna be great. So I obviously note this, but I don't really want to say anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so noted, and I kind of like I'm gonna shift and just like align my elbows with it, or like not elbows, but like sit back and like just watch her like hang yourself.
So
I
Stravitz listens. Mhm.
I might just be like.
I kind of noticed that Bryn is telling me to shush, so I say, but obviously this is your village and your land, so you should do as you see fit.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Tremendous.
So at this point, Tomas and his son come in and begin to serve dinner, and all of you eat. And so let's take our first break here, and we'll come back as dinner concludes. See what's going on in the Manor Stravitz.
Cool. All right, guys, we're going to take about 5 minutes, and then we will be back with the second part of our Burning Wheel demo with Hit It and Crit It. We'll see you guys in a few.